Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on Southpaw's Tales on the Barstool podcast. It's great to see y'all. A little heads up, this episode is pre-recorded. My work schedule prevented me from being live tonight. We still want all of your feedback in the comments.
How about this? The first person who can guess what day and relative time we pre-recorded this, we will send you a Southpaw Tales from the Barstool koozie.
Yeah, that works.
How about that?
Yeah.
So go ahead and put in the comments. Let us know when you think we pre-recorded. I even changed clothes in case anyone may or may not have seen me earlier today. You know, it's pretty fucking sneaky, but let's do this.
So that being said, if you are commenting live, make sure that you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission to see your name. They don't have permission to do anything else with your Facebook account. It just helps us see who is commenting. So that we don't just see Facebook user and comments, because when there's 8 Facebook users, we don't know who the fuck you are, and we don't fucking care. I only care when I know.
I kind of care because sometimes your comments are gold.
Yeah, sometimes the comments are gold.
Let's give you credit for those golden comments.
So tonight we are going to be talking about fucked up news stories from around the flat globe. Just stuff from the States, stuff from I've got
flat globe?
The flat globe.
That's not a thing.
It's a thing.
It's not a thing.
What, every corner of the earth? How do you have corners if it's a sphere?
You don't. It's a sphere. It's a sphere. There's no corners. There's nothing flat.
Hey, if it weren't flat, then why are the maps like this?
Okay, we're moving on from that. No. It's gonna give me a headache.
So yeah, we are doing fucked up news stories. So we're gonna go through our sponsors real quick. We're gonna make our drink of the night. Make sure you stay past the sponsors. I notice our numbers go down a little bit during that time sometimes. Just stick with us for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, they make this shit show.
How about I do want to make it real fast? How about that?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, we're ready. So we're going to start off with 5x5 Brewing Company, Battleborn, Texas-made veteran brewing company based out of Mission, Texas. Co-founded by Army veteran George Rice, with beers like the 40 Mike, whatever you call it, stout, the Burnett Bombshell and Food Bar. It's no surprise this brewery is taking over Texas and maybe other states. So ask your local bar, restaurant, or grocer to start carrying 5x5 Company today. So you can get information on them at 5x5brewing.com, facebook.com/5x5brewing, or you can email them at information@5x5brewing or 956-445-5421. So yes, next.
That was so much better than my reading last week. I struggled so bad reading
you did it.
last week. Our next one is a new sponsor. It is Quick Start Mortgage, powered by U Mortgage, and it's founded by Nathan Einkorn. You can email him at Einkorn, that's NEINKORN at umortgage.com. Call him at 720-980-9988. On Facebook, it's at Quick Start Mortgage Group, and Instagram, it's Colorado Mortgage Broker. Basically, it's the convenience of an online lender, only with better rates and dedicated staff of highly trained mortgage brokers to make sure your mortgage process goes smoothly. They are specialists in VA, FHA, and conventional loans. So pretty much anywhere you're coming from, they're going to be able to help you out. Great group of people. I've been dealing with them for 3 years now. So great group of guys to deal with, Nathan and his team.
Awesome. Next, we have OMOG Construction. So this is Marine vet Seth Knox and Matt Anderson. So they are general contractors. Anders. Oh, shit. Hi, Matt. Me again. General contractors servicing the greater Houston, Texas area with focus on concrete. No job too big or too small, from residential to commercial and industrial foundations and pads. OMOG Construction has you covered. So you can get a hold of them or their information at omogco.com. So Omoko. Facebook.com/OMOGCO or Instagram OMOGCO. So it's one Mexican, one Wedo. We talk about it every week. It's one white dude, one.
Yeah, Wedo is Spanish slang for white dude. So it's one Mexican, one white dude. So. They specialize in everything. It's all very decorative, custom cement, as far as stamped, carved, caved, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
So make sure you check them out.
Absolutely. So next, thank you to our editors at Knucklehead Media Group, Marine veteran Stephen Colon. So covering all of your podcasting and media needs, from audio and video editing to strategy planning to global online distribution. This professional team of experts takes your idea and makes it a reality while providing the knowledge and experience to help you grow your audience and reach. You can get a hold of them at knucklehead.agency or Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just look up Knucklehead MG, Knucklehead Media Group. Awesome.
So perfect, man. That went so much smoother than last week.
You're welcome.
Last week was horrible.
I should just do this every week. We are like literally 3 minutes shorter than last week, and that's without me being like really obnoxious.
I rode the struggle bus so badly.
I do all of this because I'm apparently way better. Hi, my name is Kat Tierney, and next to me is my less beautiful and less hot wife. my less beautiful and less hot not wife, JD. Say hello, JD.
Hello, JD.
So go to your favorite streaming platforms and grab a handful of that Arby's beef of that like button.
Oh, I was going to use the roast beef sandwich as mine. Yeah, I was going to say, make sure that you fist that roast beef sandwich's share button. Man, we were on the same wavelength.
Okay, how about the Arby's beef and cheese? It's a little
beef and cheddar.
Grab that Arby's beef and cheddar or that like button.
Yes, you can see all of our see or listen to all of our old episodes on any of your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube.
Yes.
Definitely make sure you subscribe, follow, whatever the certain area calls for, download.
Look, we found out how much another podcaster is making, and we want to sell out. So go ahead and subscribe and like us and share us and do all that stupid shit so I can get paid.
Yeah, because we don't get paid for this shit.
We don't get paid.
So we're going to move on with our drink.
All of our sponsors actually want to pay for our production and nothing else. So we don't see a dime of that. It all goes to actually like harvesting the shit show. All the alcohol we have to buy out of pocket, except for when 5x5 gives it to us for free. Yep. And that's why we love them.
So let's move forward here. Let's make our drinks tonight. We're going to be making a Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned, just because it's one of the bourbons I have the most of on hand right now. It's pretty simple. You're going to start off with a sugar cube.
So good.
You're going to get your aromatic bitters. There's different versions of Old Fashions that you can use.
Whatever your taste.
Various, but the standard is going to be your aromatic bitters. It's 3 dashes of that. You're going to want to get a splash of simple syrup, maybe ½ ounce or so, if that.
I don't think it needs much just because of the sugar cube. But actually, it wants it being perfect the way JD makes it, so I'm not complaining.
I'm going to be making these ones a little more stout than normal, just because I don't want to make a second one during the middle of the episode. I want to make it last. So
you're making a big old one?
Yeah. So
a Chingasso.
After that, you're also going to want
we're going to change the name of this. It's Chingasso Old Fashioned, not Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned. We're going to make a big ass Whopper cat ass size Old Fashioned.
So once you get all that in there, you're going to muddle the sugar cube in there, which just means smash it.
Yeah, man. So good. Keep going. I like it.
And there's different thoughts in the bourbon community or the old fashioned community, whether or not it gets any sugar in it or any water. Some people say that it's only made with rye. Some people say it's only made with bourbon. Rye usually sucks, so that's why I stick with bourbon. Bourbon is just so much better. Generally, you would do 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of bourbon. I'm going to do 3.5 ounces here, so I only have to make one.
So on that whole tell me you are without telling me you are, tell me you're a old-fashioned drinker without telling me you're an old-fashioned drinker. This is how our oranges look in the refrigerator. I don't know if y'all can see because of the light, but they're like half peeled.
Yeah. Because that's after that, you're going to put your ice in. We have different ice molds that we can use. We've got the giant square ones.
Thank you.
We have the sphere ones. The spheres are a little bit smaller, so I usually have to use 2 of those.
Because we're bougie as fuck, people.
You can also use whiskey stones. They make them out of granite. They make them out of stainless steel. You can try those out. That's if you don't want your drink watered down. I don't mind it when my whiskey waters down because it keeps me hydrated when I get drunk.
Yeah.
So what makes it an old fashioned or new fashioned is if it has a cherry in it. We're going to be doing new fashions because these are expensive cherries.
They are very expensive cherries.
And
that was like $20 for that tiny little effing jar of cherries.
And they taste amazing.
And I don't like the whiskey stones because they don't get my drink as cold as the others do. These gigantic ice cubes, regardless of the shape, make them cold really fast, and I love it. So they don't seem to melt as fast as regular ice cubes. So that's my input, and that's my preference.
And then finally, the last thing you're going to do is you're going to orange zest, which basically just you peel the outside of the orange, you twist it a little bit, and you let that the spray kind of go in. You wrap it around your yeah, you let the spray. Oh my god, yeah, that sounded great.
I am going. No, mine is just peeled completely.
You wrap it around the rim, and there you go.
worthless.
You have yourself an old fashioned, or in this case, a new fashioned, because there's a cherry in it.
Yeah, that was not graceful. I hope that y'all couldn't see me trying to do that rind. I was like, I literally disintegrated it, but it's still gonna taste the same. So suck it.
And so we're gonna move on with the fucked up news of the week.
Ooh, delicious.
And do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first, Toots?
I'll go first. Fuck it.
All right, you do it.
Hi, everybody. Me again.
Hey, everybody.
I had nothing but problems finding news stories that I actually liked. So bear with me. I'm going to probably go off the rails. I know that's totally out of character.
Yeah,
me.
we never go off the rails here, ever.
So the first one is brought to you from Florida, because Florida has the best stories.
Florida,
people are fucking crazy in Florida. And it's the highest count of pedophiles in the U.S. So just saying, it's crazy. It's crazy in Florida. I'm sorry if you're from Florida. I love you. Your neighbors,
Retirees
your
and
neighbors
pedos.
are nuts. Yes.
I think it also has the highest rate of opiate overdoses as well.
I believe that. So this was a Florida bride who was friends with the caterer, and she decided to put marijuana in the food. Yeah, and
did the guests know?
And not a little bit. Oh, they started noticing. They didn't know she put it in there. Well, they started getting sick and having bad trips. And they called one of the ones on a bad trip, took their clothes off and called the police. So the police show up, and this bride is dying laughing, just dying laughing, openly and honestly admitted to it. 18 of her 70 guests wound up in the emergency room.
Okay.
I have no idea how much fucking pot she put in this stuff, but it was real
I'm
bad.
not saying I have. I'm not
She
saying
was
I
arrested.
haven't used a lot of marijuana in my. Okay, I have.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to the point where I needed to be in the ER.
Yeah. Well, some
And
of
I've
them
never.
were puking.
I have puked off of. Yeah.
Some of them were paranoid and thought that their heart was going to explode. Like, it was a whole range of symptoms of why they wound up in the emergency room. But yeah, 18 of the 70 guests, had severe reactions to the marijuana and wound up getting checked into the hospital. So,
Wouldn't that suck if you took time off your work for that for that wedding?
Yeah.
Took your vacation days. You went back, you did that,
and
then you go back, and then, like many people, as soon as you come off vacation, you're chosen for a random drug screening.
I think if you were and this is my thing, take it, leave it, whatever. If I was that one of those guests, and I really thought that was the case, like it would be for you. For me, no. They drug test us when we get hired. After that, they're not really big on drug tests. But in your situation,
you're not part of the squad until you've
go
been
to the
test.
emergency room just so I had a police report and a medical record report saying that I was drugged.
Oh yeah, I'd be taking that to my corporate safety office.
And you could do that,
HR.
and maybe that's why so many went to the emergency room. They're like, "Oh fuck no, I'm not losing my job over this stupid bitch." But yeah, so she drugged her entire wedding guests, like her entire wedding party, and it was. I mean, hey, good for you, girl. And her and the caterer did it together, and they both got arrested. So there you go.
Good for them for getting arrested.
Good for them. I love that for you. I love that.
I love that you were arrested, because you know what? If you want to smoke weed, you want to store coke, I don't give a shit. Do it in your own house, but don't fucking con other people into doing it.
What was the rationale behind that? Or her family, like huge ass fucking sticks in the mud, and she was like, you know what? Just for once, I want them to chill the fuck out.
No. I guarantee what the culprit was is she's just a piece of shit.
Like, not that my parents are super. Would I like to see my parents stoned once? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would love that.
Awesome.
I would love to see your parents.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I promise I won't drug your food. But you don't really have to worry about drug tests. So if I did, I think it would be all right.
No, seriously, you're a huge piece of shit if you do that.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I think you're a
Because
piece of shit.
okay, let's say
If you had pot brownies and you were like, hey, if you want to get high, it's my wedding. I'm going to have this over here. And you gave people an option. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But straight up fucking drugging people without knowing.
We know a lot of our friends are are recovering alcoholics, recovering drug addicts.
Yeah.
You know, you just sent somebody back on that fucking downward spiral, you piece of shit. I hope you get bad things done to you in jail.
So 1, funny. 2, not cool. Not cool.
It's funny on the surface, but it's really fucked up when you dig deeper and you actually start thinking about the consequences.
When did we become the fucking responsible ones?
No shit.
Look at this. Holy shit. What happened? What happened?
I don't know. I don't
know either. We went to a concert last night. We didn't get drunk. What is going on?
Yeah, we enjoyed the show.
I don't even recognize. Nope. I woke up and I was like, I just love this shit out of my husband. Don't know why, but I was like, oh man, what's happening? Orange is black, left is right. Dogs and cats marrying each other. I don't know.
It's a stupid. So I've got a really quick one. It's not really a messed up one. I just found it very intriguing because it's somewhat local to us on the global.
Okay.
But earlier this week there was a mysterious boom that happened in South Texas, closer to the border.
Oh.
And somewhere between McAllen and Mission, actually, where 5x5 Brewing is. That's like 2.5 hours from us.
Yeah.
But there was a meteorite that hit the ground. The exact location of where it hit hasn't been found yet. Outside of Mission, and
they're sure it was a meteorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, it was seen coming into the atmosphere and all that stuff.
Okay. Well, there's been a lot of things seen entering the atmosphere recently.
Yeah.
Are you
balloons
sure?
and.
Are you sure?
But it was actually spotted by 2 pilots flying in Houston initially. But the lower Rio Grande Valley, which is Brownsville, McAllen, Mission, that whole area, and once you get outside of the city limits and away from the border itself, it's nothing but flat and brush.
Yeah.
For as far as there's like ranches down there that are tens of thousands of acres big. So if it landed in there and it's not right next to a lease road or something that's on that land, you're not going to find it. It's going to take forever.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing out there.
But it's just I just found it.
Jimmy Hoffa's body is buried somewhere the fuck out there. That's like
I just found it really cool that's somewhat local. It's something that we don't see every day. As far as, yes, meteors hit the planet every single day, but they're usually
I know
tiny,
when it
tiny,
happened.
Tiny.
I thought you had farted. I was trying to be nice. I didn't say anything.
Yes,
because that happens all the time.
That's exactly what happened.
That's pretty much what happened.
I tooted.
So not all mine is fucked up news. Mine's just like interesting, odd, like, all right.
They're all fucked up for their own reasons.
Right, yeah, whatever.
Some more than others, kind of like us.
Yeah. So this one's kind of funny. So this little girl here in the US, I believe, oh gosh, I ripped the page. So where exactly she lived, I don't know. So somewhere in America. Sent a partially eaten cookie and a partially eaten carrot from Christmas and sent it to the cops and said, for the love of God, can you please get a DNA test on this? Because I want to solve who is Santa. So she sent it to them. So the cops messaged her back and said, we have sent your samples to the Department of Health and Forensic Science. When we have an answer for you, we'll be back.
So the cops are playing along?
Yes.
Oh, that's so rad.
Yes. So they said that they sent it to the Department of Health Forensic Science and it is being tested by experts and that they would get back to her with an answer.
Top men.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. So she saved the partially eaten cookie and partially eaten carrot from Christmas. That's pretty clever. I mean, I think she was 8 years old. That's pretty darn clever for an 8-year-old girl to be like, yeah, I know who Santa is. I got his DNA. That's pretty smart.
I love the fact that the department played along and I'm sure that the department got in hold of the parents and
yeah,
there'll be a second part of that story come July or something. I'm sure.
Yeah. So, because it was all in her handwriting, including the envelope, so they're not even sure her parents know that she sent it. So by now, I'm sure they've
especially if it made the news.
Exactly. But isn't that cute? And I was like, okay, that's awesome.
So this next one, I'm going to kind of give the Cliff's Notes to it. I took screenshots of it. It's like 14 pages long of screenshots. But this is one where I really, really want y'all to chime in and give your opinions, because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be two completely separate camps of where people fall on this. I want your opinion as well as I get through it. But so I'm just going to give the very brief version of this. A woman, a 22-year-old woman, gets an airplane ticket. She paid for a window seat. By the time she boarded, there was a little girl sitting in her seat, dad sitting in the center seat, and dad's like, she's already sitting there. You can sit in the aisle.
Already no.
They bickered back and forth a little bit before the 22-year-old was just like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and deal with it. And after sitting there and reflecting on it and everything, she's like, no, I want my seat. I chose the window seat for a reason.
Did she pay extra?
I paid for it.
Did she pay extra for the window seat, you think?
I don't know what the cost difference was, but it's one of the assigned type seating. It's not like Southwest where it's like,
got it.
All right, group A, go and find your seats right now. No, this was an assigned prepaid seat. She paid for that window seat.
Got it.
Regardless if it costs more, if it costs less.
That's her seat.
Whatever. It's her seat.
Got it.
So eventually, she talked to dad again and was like, look, I paid for that seat. That shit's mine. After some back and forth, dad's finally like, okay, little girl, you have to move because this lady's being a bitch and wants her seat. And when the 22-year-old woman gets her window seat, the little kid is sitting in the middle seat. So the woman who's now in her assigned seat, she's nice enough to lean back and let the girl occasionally look out the window and stuff. So she's being nice about it, very polite.
Yeah.
And the father is saying all this just bullshit underneath his breath, making her feel very uncomfortable, everything like that. And then the little kid starts crying. Dad makes her feel guilty for that. So this is where I want y'all's opinions. And this was bad enough to where it made the news. The fact that this woman makes kid cry.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
okay.
In your opinion, should the woman have just stayed in the aisle seat and it's just a very trivial thing? It's a fucking seat. Or was she within her rights to be like, no, I paid for that, regardless what the cost difference was, if there was any at all?
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I think the 22-year-old handled it very appropriately. She talked to the dad instead of being sorry, mom, a Karen, and going straight to the manager, going straight to the stewardess. She was like, hey, let's talk about this, man. Like, that's my seat. You know, she could have pitched a fit. She could have made a scene. She didn't. So, and for a while, she did sit in the aisle, even though that wasn't her seat. That dad should have respected the fact that was her seat and just moved in the first place, and then shouldn't have been making snide-ass comments. I don't think she actually made the kid cry. I think the dad did by being a little bitch about it. And I think that 22-year-old did not make that little girl cry. And I think she was trying to be accommodating. But if that's your fucking seat, that's your fucking seat. And there are reasons that some people I like the window seat. Everyone does.
Everybody likes window seats.
It might have cost her more money, or she might have booked way before they did because no one wants the middle seat. So she did everything right by booking it early or paying more or whatever. It's her fucking seat. So that's my opinion. Is I don't think she actually made the kid cry. I think the situation did. And I think her dad aggravated the situation and by being a dick. So I don't think the 22-year-old was in the wrong.
I agree 100%. Really? I think the only reason that I would ever appreciate an aisle seat is one of my flights from overseas coming back. We landed in Baltimore, and then from Baltimore to San Antonio, I got stuck in a middle seat. And the person in the window seat and the person in the aisle seat were both over 300 pounds each. And both of them were oozing into my seat. And I think that's the best reason to have an aisle seat is someone can only ooze from one direction.
So JD actually owes me big time because we went to
the
movie at Alamo Draft House. And it was one of those like movie parties. So there's activities going on and everything. There is a big girl sat to one side, and he looks at me, and I was like, I'll take the seat next to her. So she's half in my seat. all in her seat, half in the seat on the other side of her, which she did. I think she bought. I'm not sure. No one sat there.
No one. Yeah. Well, nobody could.
I sat in the seat next to her, and the least she could have done, like, girl, if you want to be a big girl, okay, it's really bad for your health, but good for you. Whatever, you do you.
You know, if you happen to be watching or listening and you're that girl,
but, like, lean over to the other side, knowing that you're half in my seat. You know, be respectful about it, or like lift the armrests between those two seats and like sit in between it or something. Like there was a solution there, but it didn't happen.
If you want to eat unhealthy, at least take some walks,
like,
and not from the fridge to the couch.
Eat the popcorn or anything, because my arm was like pinned to my side because that's how big she was. So I was up against the armrest on my side, and I was pinned, and for the whole movie, and I just kept looking at JD like, I hope you're enjoying
I do owe you for that one.
All of that space, because next time we're in this situation, I'm taking the other seat and I'm gonna let him get it oozed on.
But you also know that I wouldn't have been polite about it after a while. I would have been the guy causing the scene. I would have been in one of these fucked up news stories.
But because you were the dick, not because you were the 22-year-old.
Yeah, because I was the dick.
So that's my no. So JD owes me big time. So when we actually do finally take a trip, but JD never takes me anywhere. Come on, fatty. So next time.
Actually, we lucked out on our flights to Vegas and back that we were around like normal sized people.
Oh my God, and they were awesome.
And they were all
kept
drunk
buying us
too. It was
drinks
great.
And as soon as they found out JD was a veteran, like he had a USAA card that he was going to buy his drinks with. Soon as the stewardess said, "Are you a veteran?" And he's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm going to cover your drink."
And for the record, for anybody of you that are going to be like, "Oh my God, that guy's looking for," no, I didn't ask for anything.
My debit card
is USAA. She asked me, and I'm like, "Yeah." And a lifetime ago, I was in the military, and she's like, "Okay, I've got this." And I'm like, I did not solicit or ask for any discounts or freebies.
Exactly.
I just want that to be known.
In front of us, the guy beside us, and the people behind us all heard that he was a veteran. So the people in front of us turned around like, "Yeah, what are you drinking? Whiskey? His next whiskey's on us." The only whiskey they had was Turkey 101.
Oh yeah, I was fucking slammed by the time we landed in Vegas.
So they bought us some. The guy next to us bought us some. The guy behind us bought us some. So we're coming into the airport, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna take your drinks." And we're like, "Oh, no more wild turkey." We're just.
I was fucking hammered by the time we got to the Uber.
We were hammered. We planned on going out that night. I bought this sexy ass lace up back dress. I still have never worn that dress because now it's like 10 sizes too big. But I didn't get to wear it in Vegas because I crashed early. I got jet lag or something, or maybe I was just fucked up. I was like puking sick that night. So there you go.
But yeah,
thank you
for the record.
Turkey.
I won't solicit the free shit. No. However, if it's offered,
we're gonna take it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
If someone, I mean, if especially I was in the same situation as a frontline worker and someone offered me free shit, yeah. Hey, where do I sign?
Mm-hmm.
You want to use my email and email me 1,000 times a day? It's free. Yeah, I don't even have to pay for shipping. Okay.
I need to get a burner email just for shit like that.
I totally agree. Actually, I think I even have a burner email and I've never used it. Isn't that terrible? Because you've got to set up like a Gmail or whatever for like
burner email 123 at Gmail.
Not a burneremail.com.
Okay, now I need to look at these up, see if they exist. All right, so what's your next news story?
Awesome. So this is okay. What's your favorite and least favorite Easter candy?
My favorite and least favorite Easter candies. Okay, least favorite is Peeps. Peeps.
Agreed.
I don't trust people that eat Peeps.
Yeah. And if you eat Peeps, can you tell us in the comments so we know to avoid you? Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next.
My mom loves Peeps.
Favorite. Yeah,
I love my mom.
Peeps are my least favorite too. What's your most favorite?
Man, I think the it's simple, but the sweet tarts, like the egg and bunny shaped sweet tarts.
Too. Yeah, that's mine too.
I'm sorry. That's my fave.
That's mine too. So you and I have the same, which is weird because we never agree on anything.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Sexual positions. Sorry. Yes. So a man in England broke in using like a grinder, like a metal grinder, intentionally broke into a factory in England and stole a semi filled with Canterbury eggs. 200,000.
A full semi of
Canterbury eggs.
Those are the ones where they got the line in the ear. The lions.
It's eggs that look like you break it open and it looks like an egg.
Yeah, the one where it's like yeah.
It's
it's got the lion with the bunny ears.
Yes.
Like, raw.
Yes. Yes. So he was caught, obviously, and they estimated the amount, money amount. It was 40,000 pounds or 48,000 American dollars of
That's a lot of
Canterbury eggs that he stole on purpose. He literally broke into the factory to steal a semi of Canterbury eggs. I can't imagine loving an Easter candy that much.
I'd steal a semi full of Peeps just to run it off a cliff to protect people from eating them things. It's a public service at that point.
No, I think no. I'm like, if I don't know, there's things that I love the shit out of, and I just don't know if it's worth stealing. So what you got, bro? What you got?
So New Zealand. They have a coast guard. I guess it's similar to our coast guard.
Sure.
Where they guard the coast.
New Zealand has a coast. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know why that just threw me off as badly as it did.
I know. Sorry, that was stupid.
But they were doing their normal rounds or whatever, and they found 3.5 U.S. tons of cocaine floating in the ocean. It was 81 bales.
Floating on what? Nothing? Just the bricks of cocaine?
They were, according to the New Zealand Police Commissioner, Andrew Coster, cocaine had been dropped at a floating transit point in 81 bales before it was intercepted.
Shut the fuck up. Like, this is like a routine drop.
And it took them 6 days to actually get all of them harvested out of the water. But 3.5 tons, that's what, 7,000 pounds roughly?
Holy shit.
7,000 pounds. Let me go farther in this news story. But listen, we believe, and this is a quote from the one of the police and customs people in New Zealand. Quote, we believe there was enough cocaine to service the Australian market for about 1 year, and this would be more than New Zealand would use in 30 years.
Okay,
so it was more. There was enough coke for the entire population of New Zealand to use it for 30 fucking years.
Congratulations, New Zealand. You just outdid Florida.
and that would last
with one drop.
That would last about a day and a half in Flower Bluff.
Yep. You know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who we're talking about.
But yeah, they're they said that it illustrates the links that are organized that syndicates are going to use to smuggle in the South Pacific. But I guess that's what they're doing is they go and the cartels will drop them floating in certain areas, and then the mules will come and pick them up, and it keeps that separation between the cartel.
So you can't follow one to get the other.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there's no meetups
way before. Wow.
So there's no meetups.
Okay, you know,
and which is also why
that's some Walter White shit. Y'all are brilliant.
We live on the Gulf Coast here in Corpus. We're the way the bird flies. We're probably like 10 miles from the coast. If we want to drive to the beach, to the good beaches, we're sitting about 45 minutes.
To the good beaches, drive, 45 minutes.
Yeah, about a 45-minute drive.
You have to go this way to go that way.
There are the beaches. We have barrier islands, and they go all the way to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very common to find bales of cocaine, bales of heroin, bales of weed.
It's very normal to find.
No, it's like it's the joke where it's like, oh yeah, we went to the beach and our kids have their college funds now.
Yeah, but
like,
you also find needles on the beach.
Oh yeah, it's
so gross. So gross.
We're very specific about which beaches we go to now, because what used to be the cool beaches to go to are now the junky beaches.
So what we do is we go to the National Seashore because you have to pay to get in, and druggies don't pay to get in.
Yeah.
Shit. So that's what.
But
we
the
do,
National Seashore is also
clean.
where you find the bales more often. Some of them are deliberately dropped. Some of them float in because they're dropped. So you go to the
clean beach and go home with a Christmas bonus. It's snowing.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I got it. So that's fun. So let's take it to Germany.
Germany.
All
right.
So there is a German ballet director who ran into a critic that was outside of his ballet studio. that had left them a not so nice review that had actually what he felt like had diminished their sales and had people cancel their tickets because of her critique. And he just happened to see her at his place. He asked her why she even bothered fucking coming, and he was basically going to try to ban her from their place and everything. And then he took a brown bag of dog shit, took a handful of it, and rubbed it in her face. He was arrested. He had to submit a public apology to her, obviously, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but the media needs to rethink their certain form of destructive and hurtful reporting that damages the whole cultural sector."
Okay,
So I apologize, but you know what? You're a piece of shit. So I rubbed more shit into you. I don't fucking know.
You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit, and here's a piece of shit. Get married.
Okay, I've got to change just because of
because of what I did.
What you read. I got to change which one I'm going to say next.
Why did you have that one?
Well, I did have that one. However, because of
we don't really relate to it. Like we try to keep it fresh because if I see his or if I know what it is, it's not like a real reaction. We try to keep the real reaction so we don't even bounce them off each other.
So with that one being somebody that's oversensitive and just a piece of shit because they feel entitled and their feelings are more important than anything else in the world.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There is now a legitimate call to cancel Valentine's Day permanently because I'm perpetually single and it's offensive. And that's essentially the entire news story. I just want to read some of the quotes and Twitters and Facebook posts that are included in this article.
But I actually have a recommendation for them. I think you should just settle. You're not that special. You're clearly not that great. You should just settle. That guy at work that kind of creeps you out, I think you should give him a chance.
So one person said, and I'm gonna skip everything except for the different posts that people had on social media. I hate Valentine's Day. It's my first Valentine's single since I was 15. We should cancel it this year. I just want some flowers.
She's just a hoe.
Another one. I vote to cancel this year Valentine's Day and my birthday as well because I'm single.
Again, why is that our fault?
Here's one that's like, I don't care if this is a dude or a chick or a dude that doesn't know that he's a chick or vice versa. I just want to straight punch this person in every hurtful spot ever.
Every taint they have. Every taint.
Valentine's Day is a microaggression against single people. I fucking hate the term microaggression. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's microaggressive. Get fucked. That's macroaggressive.
You know what? They're so right. We should cancel anniversaries. Why should we celebrate our love when they don't have love? That's just offensive.
Let's see. Somebody else said, "Dear President, please cancel Valentine's Day. Some of us are single."
Dear President. They don't even have a fucking name. Wow. Cool. Which means they send that every year.
Yeah, but it's just
hey, look, if you're single, that's not our fucking fault. If you're married and miserable, again, not everybody else's fucking fault. So, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
That was easy.
Shut the fuck up.
Is that about clear?
Fuck up. Yeah.
Awesome.
But basically, yeah, it just annoys me that the cancel culture has been given so much fucking leeway.
Hi, me. I have a story about that.
Oh, do you? About cancel culture?
Not cancel culture, but as like
just stupid fucking people.
Sensitive, dumbass
entitled
people. Yeah, let's take it to PETA.
People eating tasty animals.
So the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, I don't know if you've heard this story, had their catalytic converter stolen in Las Vegas. I wish I was kidding. Someone stole the catalytic converter out of the Wienermobile in Las Vegas. So PETA comes out and says, hey, we'll replace your catalytic converter and do all of your maintenance on that vehicle for the next year if y'all go vegan. If you turn it into a vegan mobile.
Hot dogs are pig lips and chicken assholes. Period. You don't make them fucking vegan.
The only way we can fix this vehicle is turn it into a phallus.
I honestly, the thing that surprises me most about that story is the fact that it was a diesel. I always thought that the Wienermobile would have been unleaded.
It has a catalytic converter.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So there's that. So that's cute.
Man, I wonder if it was Matthew from the Mexican Americans
That's
TV show
funny.
coming to Fox soon.
Stop it. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Matthew.
Like, I don't want to brag or anything, but I stole a catalytic converter out of a wiener. Seriously, there is a guy out there that is legitimately probably bragging about this. Like, that's what's crazy to me. It's like, wow.
Now the dude is probably so hopped up or so strung out or so
that he
fiending
didn't
that he didn't even realize.
A wiener?
Yeah, he didn't even realize it was a wiener. He was like,
yeah.
All he saw was his fucking 20
there's
sack.
A big old hot dog.
Man, I don't know how fucked up I was.
And Elvis Red's
but
like,
I stole parts off a hot dog.
You stole it off a hot dog. Like, they probably think he's fucking. That's what's funny. He's probably like, no shit, I stole it off a hot dog. And they're like, oh my God, he's gonna OD. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
So did you know that the zombie apocalypse is actually starting to happen in real life?
No. Is it people on their phones? Because don't comment. They're on their phones right now watching us.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like legit. So in New York, an 82-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the nursing home that she was living in, or assisted living place. She was alive when they were getting ready to start the autopsy and everything. She was at the funeral home. She'd already been pronounced dead. She was already in the black body bag, zipped up. They open it up, getting ready to start doing the examinations, the postmortem shit. She starts breathing. So, this was several hours between the two things, between her being and a nursing home employee like your CNA that wipes asses and stuff cannot say that a person is dead. That has to be
a doctor,
mm-hmm. Justice of the peace.
Well,
certain places sheriffs can do it, but it has to be somebody it has to be a certified and authoritative figure. It's not just anybody can be like, yep, you're dead.
Well, there was that one in South America that happened. So I guess she had like I don't know if you heard about that. That was a few years back. So she was pregnant, and it was somewhere in South America where like they're the poorest of the poor. So all the family lives together. She was a teenager, recently married, pregnant, got up to go to the bathroom, which is outside because they don't have indoor plumbing. Collapsed. They're not sure if it was a seizure or what. They found her the next morning. They took her to the emergency room. She was pronounced dead. Well, they don't have enough for funerals there. So they have like above ground tombs though. So they buried her that afternoon. Her husband went to visit her the next day, and he could hear her banging inside of it. She was alive. So by the time they got her out, because they actually brick them in, by the time they could break through the bricks, she had actually died. But she was buried alive, pregnant. Isn't that sad?
But wait, there's more.
Do you have another one?
There's more. This was only days after a 66-year-old woman was declared dead at a Glen Oaks Alzheimer's special care center. And she was placed in the body bag, taken to the funeral home and crematory.
Oh, shit.
How
old?
66.
That's young.
That's younger than my mom.
That's young.
Like, yeah, that's relatively young.
66 is young.
And the workers started working and found her breathing, called 911. She was returned to her hospice and died 2 days later.
2 days later.
2 days later.
2 days. 2 days later.
And then, no, there's no more in it. But there are several other cases within a few month time frame, or it's the same thing. But we are now living The Walking Dead, but they all want to give you Werther's Originals and shit.
Stop it. I got some hard candy when I get in my van. And that's how I died. That's how I got married too. Stupid hard candies.
When it happens. So what you got? What you got?
I don't know. Let's see. What am I going to do next? This one's really fast, so I don't know if I want to do that one. I guess I can do that one now. Fuck it. So there was this 4-hour boat tour off the coast in Bahamas.
SS Spino?
No.
Oh, that was a 3-hour tour.
So it was towards the end of their tour, and they're like coming up. You can see the docks and everything. They're pretty close. There was a 12-foot hammerhead that came from underneath them, bumped their boat, and it scared them. And I guess they like, and this dog, I guess to save them, jumps off a local dock, swims, and starts attacking the 12-foot hammerhead shark. And they were like, "Oh, baby, no!" The shark swam away. They said they couldn't tell what exactly happened. There was just a lot of like churning and like craziness and like thrashing in the water. The next thing you know, the shark bolts and the dog swims back to shore.
What kind of dog was that? Did it say? Whatever dog it is what I'm getting next. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably just like a local rescue mutt.
It was probably a local mutt. Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, those humans are in trouble," jumps off a gosh darn dock and attacks a 12-foot hammerhead shark.
Hey, rescue mutts tend to be the most loyal.
That's why I married you.
Yeah, because I'm a rescue mutt.
Very, very loyal. He's a loyal bitch.
So this next one, I'm pretty sure that there's been movies made about this.
Oh no, what?
I think this is kind of a life imitating art because there have been movies made about this. I don't know.
Okay, was the movie made first or was
the movie was made first? Which is why it's life imitating art. But in New Jersey, there was a 29-year-old woman who used false documents to say that she was like 16 or 17, enrolled in high school, and
never been kissed.
Yep. So there was that Drew Barrymore flick, Never Been Kissed.
Mm-hmm.
But after it took almost a full week of her attending classes all day, every day, before somebody contacted authorities. And nobody knows why she was doing it, her intentions. She hasn't, at least to this point, hasn't disclosed any of that. But she had a couple of students that were helping her with the lie. And
okay, all right. I'm pissed.
Why? Because she's 29, can pass as a high school student?
Because I wouldn't make it 7 hours in that thing. And they're like, seriously, are one of these your children? Like, fuck you.
I mean, you're short enough to be in high school.
I'm short enough to be in junior high. That's not the point. They're like, I'd make it to gym class. And they're like, are those stretch marks? Like, mind your own business.
So I found this paragraph in the story especially funny because this is like something you wouldn't think would have to be said. It was just kind of assumed, but it's like the woman has been barred from entering school grounds in the district, and officials have advised students to not have any contact with her.
Oh, I know when they discover me. I'd be like, oh, you and your crazy twittering.
But apparently in New Jersey, the state does not require a parent or guardian to be there for an immediate immediate enroll, which is like if you're moving and you need to get into school real quick.
Yeah.
If you're in the foster system, things like that, where you just need to get enrolled very quickly you have up to 30 days to provide certain documentation for parents to come in and sign things. But yeah,
seriously.
But how it went 4 days, and honestly, it's like if you've made it 4 days, you did something really stupid on day 4 to get caught.
Yeah.
Because you probably could have made it a lot longer.
Yeah. That means you went to every class at least 4 times. Every class, every teacher saw you at least 4 times, and really close, because when you're the new student, you stick out like a sore thumb. So you're that's really disappointing.
You're under a microscope when you're the new guy.
That makes me sad about my life. I cannot pass for nope.
Let me shave. Get some Rogaine. Some Botox. Get rid of the beer gut.
I don't want to brag or anything.
Tattoo removal.
But I'm like 17 surgeries away from having that exact same thing happen to me. That just 17. So we're gonna take it across a pond. No. Anyway,
a pond.
Not
the pond, but a pond.
Sweden. I don't fucking know. Shut up.
So what's going on in Sweden?
So in Sweden, stop distracting me with your cuteness. So at the Lund University in Sweden, there was a Norse shipwreck from 1495 that they found in the Baltic Sea. They have discovered over 3,000 well-preserved plant species from vegetables, spices, and herbs. So this was like King Hans, the ruler of Denmark and Norway. I guess this was like almost like his Air Force One. It was his floating castle. It was like the epitome of his like mobile government when he was at sea. So they were going to Sweden to negotiate them taking over Sweden. He was not on board, but it caught fire and wound up sinking. But well preserved within inside of it was, everything. It had like blackberries, raspberries, grapes, clove, mustard, dill, saffron, almonds, like crazy shit that is not even indigenous, which means they were like fucking expensive. But he was the king, so whatever.
Saffron is Spanish saffron is the most expensive spice.
Well, how about 3,000 year old?
Yeah,
not 3,000 year old, but you know what I mean. They're like hundreds of year old saffron. I bet that shit. And seriously, there is a billionaire out there who's going to buy that fucking saffron and use it. You know it. Like it's been undersea for hundreds of years. I'm buying the Norse saffron.
Oh yeah, it's like if I found some like random, 100-year-old bourbon that from some company that doesn't even exist anymore, you fucking know I'm drinking that shit.
You know what's funny? If you took this to like an Applebee's, they're gonna push the shit out of this to get rid of it.
Push the saffron, it's getting ready to turn.
Now, do we still got those Norse grapes back there? Can you put those in a kid's fruit salad and get them on the menu ASAP?
You want some grapes, Billy?
ASAP.
So since we're across the pond, there's a London story.
Which pond?
The pond.
Oh, sorry. It was also It was. Did I say that it was found in the Baltic Sea? I meant to say that it was found in the ship was found in the Baltic Sea. Sorry. Go ahead.
So in London, they have the theater districts, much like Broadway, but they also have outdoor,
like venues
and events and things like that. But in London, they have they're like pop-up porta cans. So when they have events going on, they come above ground level. They're piston hydraulically lifted
from underneath the ground,
and then we're not being used. They go down. So the firefighters had to use a winch to free a man who became trapped underneath a hydraulic urinal.
Underneath it?
Yes, he was underneath it. Despite the efforts of the emergency services, he was pronounced dead at the scene. So dude was killed by a shit box. Literally.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'd be pretty pissed.
That's
a horrible
top
pun.
3 shittiest ways to go.
I mean,
top 3.
Maybe. Yeah.
Top 3.
I mean, at least he was under it and not side of it.
Yeah, so I said we did hear earlier about that girl dying in that like toxic waste,
oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
And like a vat of human
We love
sewage.
you watching our podcast, but there's another one, Mr. Ballin.
Shout out to Mr. Ballin.
Mr. Ballin. And we were watching him earlier, and there was this girl who fell into a
mayor.
Yeah, she was the mayor and fell into one of the shit pots at the wastewater plant.
Yeah.
And literally the poop acted like
a suction.
Yeah, it
pooled.
It acted like quicksand.
It pooled her down. Terrible. She's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrible.
She's dead. So besides that, I have like crazy, like I'm gonna shout them out type of things. These are crazy arrests from around the world. Are you ready?
Oh, crazy arrests.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna start here in the US. I got a few. Georgia. A naked man steals an ambulance in Georgia and gets arrested for it.
He must have come over the line from Florida.
They were trying to flash him because he was driving around without lights on and then was doing donuts in the middle of a street. So the cops
I'm just impressed by the ambulance at that point.
The cops got called and he stole an ambulance and took it for a joyride. So good for you, Georgia man. Now to Illinois. Man steals funeral van with a body inside.
Oh shit.
Yeah. There was a body in the back. He didn't realize it. He was really just stealing a van. And it said funeral home, but he didn't think there was a body in the back of a van. He thought,
because most people think of a hearse.
Exactly. So I guess it was how they transport the body from the hospital to the funeral home, and then they use the hearse after that from the funeral home to the cemetery. And they went inside really fast, left the keys in the car. So he just takes off with the van, not realizing there's a body of a 47-year-old man in the back. Whoops. Yep. So, 18-year-old kid in Florida. Florida again. Hi, are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Gosh, you see this? So rude. Let's just scroll up.
Hey, I'm getting my fucking next story. Don't be a dick.
Well, I'm really good at it. I learned from you. I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Tell your story.
Okay. A Florida 8-year-old kid, I hate to call him a man because come on now, was watching this jogger for like 6 weeks, same time of day, watches this man jogging around his neighborhood and everything. And he's like, or a park next to his neighborhood. And he thinks to himself, yeah, I think I'm going to murder that guy and use him for some like sex fantasy stuff. So this kid grabs a rubber mallet, Axe body spray, his mom's robe belt, and a sheet. And he goes to attack this runner, tries to spray Axe body spray in his face and try to attack him with a rubber mallet. What he does not know is not only is that guy an avid runner, he's also a martial arts expert. The 18-year-old kid got his ass kicked.
Oh my God. I think I read this or not that article, but I read the story about this guy like last week or week before last.
Yeah.
And I saw the mugshot of the dude and he
looks fucking crazy. He's like this.
With 2 black eyes, bruises all over his face. Like he got fucked.
Broken open. Yeah, it was real funny. So it's like, seriously. And then he even said, he's like, yeah, I've been planning this for weeks. Like I was going to literally roll up his body in a sheet, take it back and put it in my closet and do some sex fantasy shit with him. And it was like, oh my God. Like some things like, keep to yourself, bro.
Calm down. I just want to take some pictures.
Oh my God. So, and then the last one is another 18-year-old boy from Manchester, England. Hi there. He stole a car, filled it up with gas, stole a car, put gas in the stolen car, didn't pay for the gas. So the cops had a description. They saw, like, they could see him on camera, so they knew basically who he was. Went to his home, and he hid himself in a big stuffed teddy bear. He cut the ass out, took the stuffing out, and climbed inside the teddy bear.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So they saw some of the stuffing on the ground, and the teddy bear was shaking. That's how they caught him. Like he's so clever. But the teddy bear was moving, and he left the stuffing on the ground. Amateur.
Fucking amateur.
Fucking amateur.
So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out with one last story here, as I so rudely talk with my mouth full with a cherry. And this one is very, very important to our viewers and to us. But a doctor using the actual scientific method and doing it the proper way and doing experiments and recording results and has determined whether or not breaking the seal is actually a thing.
It is, right? Please tell me it is.
It is an emphatic yes and no.
Come on, what?
So peeing the first time does not make you have to pee more often if you've been drinking.
Okay.
Drinking alcohol.
Okay.
But this is, it doesn't matter if you're drinking beer, shots, wine, sipping, anything like that.
Whiskey.
The alcohol itself blocks the normal release of antidiuretic hormones or ADH. And it promotes reabsorption of water to the kidneys. So if this is blocked, the water goes into your body instead of going into your kidneys to get filtered out. So that's why you pee more, is because the alcohol is blocking your body from.
You mean pee less? You just
no, you're going to pee more
because water.
Because the water is not going through the filtration system. It's just going straight into your body, into your bladder.
Okay.
And going through. So it's not absorbing through the normal routes that it would.
Okay.
And
good for you, body, for trying to save my kidneys, you little wily little bastard. Too bad you didn't do that to my liver.
So ADH is important because the body produces it while you sleep, which is how you can hold your pee for as long as you can.
I do.
You know, so when you wake up and you got to piss really, really, really bad, it's because ADH has been in your body, and it's released naturally. So
I mean, I have to pee at least once in the night, but yeah, sure. Most people.
It's excreted less when you drink alcohol, and which in turn increases the urine production.
So you don't you're too busy hanging out with your friends and like not paying attention. Then all of a sudden you got to pee, and then you got to pee all the time.
Yeah, and so obviously the more alcohol you introduce into your body, regardless the amount of liquid, because of what you're drinking, the more you're gonna have to pee because your body is no longer holding on to those liquids. It's just like, I got to get rid of every liquid in my body right now.
JD is like a 12-year-old girl.
Oh man, when I start to drink
all the time,
I piss of course I probably drink more than the normal person. I'm not saying I'm an alcoholic. Probably am.
I'm not saying
I'm functioning. I'm functional.
I'm not saying.
yeah. But I just thought that was a really cool interesting fact, because it's something that we've all said, like, oh my God, I broke the seal. Now I want to piss every 5 minutes. Yeah. And it's not because you peed the first time.
It's because
the alcohol
kicked in.
The alcohol actually inhibits certain hormones in your body from being released.
Fascinating.
Fucking science, y'all.
Fascinating.
Fucking science. But with that being said, it is definitely time to wrap it up tonight.
I'm so glad y'all are here because you watch this show to learn things.
Yeah. Who would have thought that y'all would have come here to get all learned and shit? So that is all for this week. Thank you for tuning in. We, as I said before, this is pre-recorded. We will go back whenever we have a chance, and we will look at all the comments, try to reply to as many of them as we can. We appreciate it. Make sure that you share where you see or hear this from with all your friends. We're trying to get to the point where we don't have to come out of pocket to actually do this fucking show. Yeah. We don't want to be millionaires off it.
Grab that like buttons. What is it? The beef and cheddar from Arby's, and
fish that share buttons, beef curtains, and
subscribe on every single favorite media platform.
Go to your favorite podcast hosting platforms.
We were terrible.
And your YouTube channel.
And help us help you by selling out.
Yes. But again, thank you for all your sponsors. If you are out drinking, make sure that you find a sober ride home, crash where you're at, or just don't go out and drink. Drink at home. It's safer. It's cheaper.
Or don't be single on Valentine's Day. Hook up with that girl right next to you.
Yeah.
Take a chance.
It's not Valentine's anymore.
She probably doesn't have herpes.
Probably. There's a 1 in 4 chance. You're doing good. But with all that, y'all be safe. We'll see y'all here. Same beer time, same beer channel next week. We love you guys. Have a great one.